Hey guys, Mrs. Shannon here, and I'm going to go through some notebook basics, just setting it up, organizing it, and getting started with your notes. So in this class website we have, I'm just going to pull up our notebook directions and resources. And I briefly went through this with you. We started taking notes last week on claim evidence and reasoning, but if you'd like some more information on why we're doing it or why I'm stressing color, we have information here. But I actually want to open up tips and examples of notes. I'm going to keep this down here. So at this point, everyone should have a notebook. If you want to decorate your notebook, you can. We're not going to take time in class to do it because I only see you a couple of days a week. Here's an example of mine for this year that I've started. It's all sciencey themes because, biology teacher. We got some DNA, we got some plants. I love to camp and take hikes and walk. I think bees are cool, the pollinator and the whole symbiosis it has with other organisms. So I just kind of decorated it with things that I like. I had you guys already start numbering your pages, but on pages 1 and 2, where I had you skip pages, that's where your table of contents are going to go. I'm not going to have you put dates that we're going to put entries in because different people will be putting them in on different times. Also, while we're starting here, I'm giving you some guidelines on pages to start on, but as we get going, your page numbers will be a little bit different, just depending on how big and small you write. But notice right now, what we did last week, our claim and evidence reasoning CER basics, page 3 is what I had you guys do it on. And then notes from this week, we're going to start on page 4 for the majority of them, except for one set. Now, I didn't number my pages. I'm going to show you another little shortcut tip. If you are in my classroom at any point, oftentimes I have these little tabs that we can put on and we can divide our notebook by units so we can find a section quickly. So our first 2 sections that we're going to have are science practices, which are the first 10 pages maybe. And then we're going to start with our biology intro, biology basics. We'll just call it biology intro. And so what I'm going to do to kind of make it easy for me to quickly get to that section, I'm going to use tabs. Now, if you aren't in class and don't have access to the tabs, you can always cut it out on a piece of construction paper or cardboard, just little rectangles, and I'll show you what to do. So on the first one, the first section we have, it's going to be science practices. And so all I do is I wrote science practices, and then I'm going to go to page 3 where I started. And I am going to tape it down so it hangs off. Let's see if we can show this. I'll tape it down and then I'll show you. So it hangs off of the side. Oh, there we go. You can see it like that. Okay. So just tape it down. If you have the little stickers, those are great. I mean, if you want to go out and get some, I love little Post-it tab stickers. Okay. And so here it is. Now I have easy access to get to my science practice section. The next section I said it was going to be bio basics. I'm just going to call them bio basics. And we're going to start that. Let's start that. I think I said page 10. Let's start that on page 11. I think we have enough room. Now, if we run out of room in science practices, we can always add more pages by making little envelopes in our notebook or taping things in. So we'll get to that when we need to. So let me label the other one I have here. Bio basics. And this is sort of our introduction. If you want to call it bio intro, that's fine too. When I put it in, I'm going to make sure to kind of measure it so that way they don't overlap. And then just like the other one, I'm going to tape it down. So now I have bio basics taped in. When I close it, there we go. Easy access to both. So at the beginning here, I'll guide you to the page number kind of to start on the sections, but then I'll just refer to which section you should be taking notes in because, again, people are going to get on different pages depending on how many notes they take and the size of their notes. So let's see, what do I have here in the way of tips? Is that even a link? Oh, that's not opening for me. Let's see if I can pop it out and see if it opens. Okay, so just some tips here using color, and I'll show you that. Don't tear any pages out. We can cross off a page if we need to. if we do end up making envelopes, which we will when we have packets and whatnot, what we do is we just simply, let me go to a page that's not, fold down. We can fold down one page and staple it or tape it to the other. And now we have a little envelope that we can put things in. We can also just take regular envelopes and tape things in. Okay. The other thing that I really want to take a moment for here, though, is examples of notes, because you're going to be starting the notes. Okay. So when you're doing notes for readings and videos, especially, okay, this is the format that you will want to follow. It's called Cornell notes, or a T-chart for notes. Sometimes if you're just doing like a quick couple of notes that I say during class, you might not need to do this, just a couple of reminders. But if you're reading or watching a video, this is the format you should be using. On the left, you have questions, and on the right, where most of it goes, are the notes that you will be taking. So in the notes section, you're going to write your notes here. Do not write down every word. Abbreviate if you know an abbreviation. Use highlighting, vocabulary, words, important ideas. When you come back to class, you can always add, or when you're watching a video later on, you can always add more notes to it. I think I suggested briefly in the one I'm going to show you, but using other colors will help you kind of identify them a little bit more easily, that you're taking the information from multiple sources. Underline key phrases, especially if they're repeated during a video. Okay, if something is repeated, it's probably important. Quality over quantity. I don't care if you have 4 pages. If you have 4 pages and someone else has 1.5 pages, but they are taking bullet points, they're coloring, they're going back and filling in, that's going to be probably more helpful. And then at the end of each, you're going to write a 1 or 2 sentence summary about what your notes are about. Maybe 3 at the very most, but you just want to summarize, okay, what did you learn during this? As you're going through, you're going to be also writing questions on the side. So if you're taking notes on something and you're unclear about it, write that down. If you are reading about a moth and the way it interacts with the light, and you're like, that's pretty cool, and you want to find out more information, write it down. So this is the way that you're interacting with your notes. Thoughts that come up, questions that come up. Okay. If you think something could be tested, if you're like, ooh, that looks like a test question, write it down here. And then you can always go back and answer questions. Again, I suggest different colors when possible. Highlighters, colored pencils, colored pens. Colors are great. So some people really like colors, some people don't, but I think it would be very helpful when we're taking notes to kind of make things pop, stand out. And as we're going back and filling in and answering questions, we can differentiate. Okay. So let me know if you have questions about setting it up, getting started, adding tabs, how we are going to organize notes for videos and readings. And I will get back to you. Sometimes I will have you take pictures of your notes and then just upload them to show me that you're taking your notes. Your notebook you will be able to use on many assessments. Not all of them, like not our final exam or unit exam, but any of our like weekly check-ins and stuff, you will be able to use your notebook. You will not be able to use digital notes, but you will be able to use what you have in your notebook. So I hope this helps. If I can stop the screen.